town is very great to mambo ya town. This is the first I've ever talked about it.
Yeah, sure.
Project to mambo ya town. Mbaya.
You're lovely mbaya.
The mbaya.
You're deadly mbaya.
See you soon.
What you drop it?
I was thinking of doing surprise drop in the archives na Bluetooth na mabodi to launch ngoma tukiwa live stream. Wasa wanasikia tu ngoma. Wasa niambia ukweli ngoma inaweza ngoma iweze. Really. The story ya kubuy views is fine. If you guys like it, fine. Don't like it, fine.
You want to panga iko din out of.
You guys that wanted beats on a Friday to the archives.
So some 2 weeks, 3 weeks, some 1 month na hana take so kupa sit pepa yogoto.
You see the music is ready. Bo has been calling me. So
okay.
The music is ready. I'm ready. Music now.
Wazi so hey yo bana hata ndabana niko part of the scene.
Come through bro. Rade fame. We will lose people. The number of people this year. Sasa nende kulianza kutana deck last year history after kazi na upaka.
This is nambia I think you be a very good thing
of course. So nitasema ni
hii ilikuwa sawa
kama nimebeat. Sasa nimebeat depends.
Alafu hata kwenye hiyo tena ndio green alert. Waliambia kaa chofala.
Mungu tulikuwa tunamania na wewe ulisema kuna tembele tulifanya hivi bro hakuna kitu akijauza seedlings. Receive cards every day. Una nini? Unaanza ku realize people tell you no. Kama staki hata kuna msana anataka people hard feelings anakupara show freezy. After a few rejections unaanza ku realize it's not personal. Si ati ni mimi umsi anachukia. Na ndio maana wasawamatu waga na mademu warembo kabisa. Because job yao ni nutrition therapy on a daily basis.
Bana.
Daily basis anashinda akiambiwa no, toka hapa staki nini. To the point wanafikaga. Umsi anakuangalia.
Miun bana.
Wewe unaangalia chini. Because ukimwangalia utengeiga. These guys have become so good at people because of being rejected so many times. Anajua tu udem aoni mimi sample yake. Comfortable life bro nenda sema ni donga.
Hapa Kenya. Ama
Kenya aka heaven. Aka heaven Kenya mnadoka.
Hapa Kenya ndio wanadoka na hapa life inashika
baya shidilona kaka.
So hapa hapa Kenya ndio ile vipada kwa na kama wewe ni sema kama wewe ni kwa hiyo employment ni nani? Ndio umeemploy. Wewe ukiwa sala lako unacheza matuari kwa ile kao. Kuna vile uborotishi.
Bakisalo ya so tatu. Ndio pesa iko na ushetani fulani ndani. Then mshahara inapanda the more lifestyle pia yapanda. Nakumbuka ndio wewe first pia ile iko sema iswean sisi bashika. Banjuka happened and wamoda zingilia jiji na kuna vitu macho yako iko inaona kumbe tuna kiatu 10 kumbe kuna so the lifestyle and the income zinapanda so naeleweka tunasema about financial freedom na pishara si nice.
So now the problem is we now maybe now we free employed and access such kind of amount of money. Yes. Now the banks and the financial institutions start preying on you and then they tangle that money to the extent that you might not be left with so much disposable income.
And in terms of they give you facilities.
Then you get facilities and then you entangle the funds and you're able to borrow your future. You understand? Yeah, so the moment you've borrowed your future, of course, you're
mtumwa kidogo.
Kuna venye umekuwa kitanzi hapo sasa you can only graze around there. Yes. And you see now that facility makes you not to be in a point you can take a risk and even leave that employment. Yes. As opposed to somebody who does not have those facilities. You will go and try something else. If this fair dedication is not working
for you. Watu wa kiwanja, you just say that you go any or any plan.
Let's try something else.
I have loans and stuff like that.
If you have loans, so you end up in that vicious cycle for a very long time. Before you know it, then after that, we get to the cycle of pensions and all that. See, you day a poor person.
Bro, and you know, I used to think it's hard. It's becoming rich is so hard. No, staying rich.
I've been tuning the rich.
Tumepata pesa alafu imebaki kwa mfuko ama unaionaga. Guy, Mungu.
I love there's something else.
Hapo masio ni sana dio kitu ni.
Then there's something again that you need to know, no?
Yeah.
So for example leo ni kudunge mita 5. Mimi pia unajua wensi ya chapa sana. Ndio
Rona ka kwa mafutani right.
Yeah, so for example ukichapa mita 5.
Yeah.
Unajua you are a person with millions, you're not a millionaire.
DJ ongeza volume. Narudi hiyo umesema
Let me say this again. Nikikudunga mita 10, nisome mita 10. Nini yako? Ama ushikamo vya football watu wanacheza the other time na horizon kwa hiyo mkishinda mita si ngapi mita ngapi wakacumulate also watoka mita 7 mita 10 That's a person with millions.
Not a millionaire.
Not a millionaire.
Si ati sijui.
Not a millionaire.
Hata mimi hiyo personally inaitwa tunasema material.
Ya sasa a millionaire.
Yes. Pesa yako kama haina kazi, you think you have a lot of money.
Yeah.
I noticed that with my first money. Ile ido inakaa mingi, but nijua ufanye kitu ya maana. Hebu anza kupandisha nyumba. Hata si nyumba kubwa. Anatoka kupandisha tu kakeja kadogo, wote kuna 100k kumbe si pesa. 1m si pesa. So money is so much. Sasa haina kazi.
Yeah.
It looks like so much.
Yeah. So what happens? I think you know the difference is between somebody with millions and a millionaire is this. You know, a millionaire is who you are. Not that point. I can give you 500k, and because you're a millionaire, that 500k will become millions.
So you are preaching to the choir. Na leo asubuhi before nikamkwako hiyo pesa nilikuwa natafuta. I was looking for half an M. Bro, kuna gari nilikuwa nauza. Nikikaa hivi and then the guy was coming to buy the car, bro, akifika Suswa amegonga ng'ombe za Masai. Wakamchomea gari.
Yes.
For real, bro. So hiyo half an M nilikuwa natarajia leo hiyo imekunywa maji. But I understand what you mean about
yes.
It's who you are that allows you kufanya shilingi moja iko shilingi mbili. Not about
yes. It's not there as a ring. I love you seeing actually the difference, when you are a thousandaire who end up getting millions, you know you don't function well until you are left with 5
sick. I defect this psychiatrist. I'm very one lie, bro. That's not really to your true position.
Yeah, sasa leo sharudi baba
for kweli thousandaire. It's because ukweli wewe thousandaire.
Ya nuyu atadhania. So
thousandaire huwa samili.
Sasa wewe thousandaire lakini uko na mito.
Yes.
Yeah, so and akili yako ndio kwa zote unanunua ile things you don't need. Mara hii fan umeona menje hapa hivi umesema
yani
inakusumbua bana baada ndio ujao kina 5k where I belong as akili unataka kufanya 4 you 5k na you someone unataka kuipanga fit akili inarudi kiti
bro yani sijui mbona nimepeka passing bro I've been a millionaire I think 4 times hadi nikaanza kuwa stressed ile why
ulipopata ya person with millions
Afana, yes, that's what I'm seeing. Person with millions, ile mbona uone kama inatoka ya inaishia. What's going on? So like you're saying wewe nani, what is your state of mind?
But and also to understand the art of money, the behavior of money, and also make money be comfortable around you. Unajua
tukimiza syllabus. The art of money, the behavior of money, and making money comfortable
around you.
Please preach.
Yes. So in the event that you understand that those dynamics, then okay,
what is the art of money?
Yes, and no, the art of money is just understanding that this currency that you are holding is more useful, and there's a way you can be able to trade around with it, and either maintain its value or increase its value. Yes,
but not to lose it.
Not to make yourself in a position whereby whatever shillings that you're holding keeps depreciating by the day. You understand? Whether it is the value of the resource that you have that is depreciating, or there's a time whereby you might be it is the audit that is yeah. Because ukiwa na dogo endo kwa mattress unajua sasa it's as good as you that money is also
as good as
yeah you where ni mtumbua yet that you can live on the same basis. For example I can give an example of you have 10 million and you find yourself in 100. Actually, it's not forex, so I don't know. Yeah, how are you?
Forex, bro.
You know, I don't know.
Forex is when it's come to it. In Forex, even as scammers, but can't. The whole market can't be a scam, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So, if at all you find yourself into the money market, you can survive on the dividends.
Like you put 10 M into MMFs, then you take an annual. How much do these MMFs pay out?
Even if they're paying you 1% of it, or even 10%, right?
10%.
If an annual 10%,
There's such a 10% annual on 10 million shillings.
Yeah. Banks are giving you an annual profit of 5.5%.
5.5 on a minimum amount.
Yes, I think the minimum that I'm seeing right now is the banks. 5.5%. There's certainly for that you pay that as a.
But 5.5% is underneath the inflation rate. So you need to speed pesa, bro. You need zero work. If inflation rate is 5-7% and the bank is paying me 5% on my money to me spend 2%.
Yeah, but what I mean is that the banks are
trading the money. I'm not
going for. You see the banks themselves, huh? Their intention more is actually to serve the public, and they think that their intention is to serve the public. They are regulated to ensure that whatever they're getting from the public, before they trade with it, they guarantee the owners of the owners of the source of some stability within the cost of that resource that they've gotten, so that they really said that maintain notice, they get something out of it, and that's actually the regulator speaking. So the regulator ensures that if I took my 10 million shillings and I change it to a sticky deposit, into a fixed deposit with the bank X, then that is now a liability to that bank.
Because it's upon them to make sure.
They have to ensure that now they sell, sales people. But as long as they have it, they have to pay for that cost.
Okay.
You understand, right?
Yeah.
And it is not there. It is now the regulator comes in to ensure that actually is enforced.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the reason why most of the time, if all is, they will try to negotiate with me the amount and get the cheapest rate possible. Yeah.
And then in the case,
also it also depends on that bank. And that's about even that bank might need that bank.
Yeah.
Because they already have somewhere to put it.
Yes.
At that point.
Okay.
So let's say for example, with the data that I'm seeing the government today pouring from the local banks.
Yes. Which puts a squeeze on the rest of the market. Usually to lend.
Absolutely.
And it is more lucrative, more safe to lend to government. But that leaves the public squeeze down here.
Yes. No, the public is now not exposed to. There's no liquidity.
There's less liquidity because all the money has been institutionalized into government.
Or why would I want to lend to you? To know whether tomorrow you are going to but I think the moment when I agree with the government that this demand have been taken, it will bring in. You see, so in the only way to actually is to stimulate the economy in terms of putting the resources in people's pockets. Yes, by keeping the government keeping off from the local lending. Yes.
Okay.
And even regulate them. And they regulate the local lenders, adjust the policy in a way that favors the public. Yes. So that's some of the things that we're seeing mostly with the government, and that speaks to the one-time narrative that there's no clear intention to ensure that there is money in his pocket. Instead, there is some form of latent or subliminal intentions of taking away the risk that you're there.
That's how people feel. So, acha nikuulize swali, we go back a bit. Nisikia Kenyan Prince akisema the money that people lend to banks, the banks do the forex business. Do matter the forex. Is this true? Learn that the banks take deposits from customers, alafu your do wanafanya overnight lending or overnight trade in foreign markets, and they make much more money. They make much higher percentages of profits than Yani wana play the big markets alafu wanachunia.
Alafu wanachunia kati tu kadogo tu hapo.
Ndio kweli.
Sasa yule ni content creator pia. Kenyan Prince. You ni content creator. Okay, let me tell you.
Okay, I don't know enough about forex government. Me I'm a crypto guy. But as for forex, bro. Then the question I should ask: how comes banks never lose money? That's the better question. Really, so that's simple. How comes banks don't make losses? Wali wanapeleka gado, ni wapi huko kwenye there's always
also banks make losses. I know several of you. Imperial Bank was under receivership forward. Yes, Chase Bank.
Chase Bank.
Yes, people lost their way. No, it's because you see, there is the depositor capital, the base capital that you deposit to the CBK to ensure that the public is back against any potential that is. So that
no matter what happens, you're always able to pay back your deposit.
Yes, no matter what happens, the public hates interest. The public creates it. Yes. So
when there's a run on a bank, like last time your bank umetaja, how comes they're not able to pay everybody? If kama wako na deposits zenye zina match ile do customers wameka, how comes when there's a run on a bank or some tense wanna feel, oh no, I'm not sure I'm safe, how comes wasoki kilia kwa banks, they're not able to get their money?
If you order registration, that deposit that you're having, let's say let me just bring it back home. I come and give you 10K, and that deposit that ensure that my worth to conduct this business. This is my worth to conduct this business. Then I have my other money operations in feeding the worth that I'm getting from the public. But I've already proven my worth by way of pushing some deposits by the regulator that I'm able to do this business. You understand that? So if at all I've been trading with all these resources and the central bank can see the way that is unfolding, I've been able to scoop the entire resources are going down. They're going down. I've been able to work from this one to this other point in the process of my process of like the lending, all my activities and all the other operations that run this institution system. So it means that I get to a point where there is an alarm. There's an alarm that if I continue this path, now the depositor might not be able to recoup back their resources.
So
then at a particular point, the CBK now comes in, the regulator comes in. And now they put you under receivership.
Yes.
And putting you under receivership is just like a warning.
Haimanishi umesota.
No, kusota kuna some indicators.
Live imekijamia but bado hauja.
Kuna live indicators. Si pesa ya watu ijaenda ati imeenda ni, but the indicators are showing kabisa that wewe you are on a steep downward type trajectory. And that particular point, when the regulator now comes in, they are now coming to salvage the situation. You understand that? So by salvaging the situation, if they were to take your capital and not pay, then they've killed it. Where would you get another capital? The intention of the regulator is to kill them. Is to keep them alive because it's more beneficial the regulator to the government when at least we have that bank operating. Yes.
I'm on a bank as in a chore, bro. That has to be the most inhumane chore. That has to be the most inhumane bullshit. Nishaisikia kwa maisha yangu. Why? What is the hebu nisaidie. Maybe I want to have a bank as in a chore. Acha kuangalia. Wewe jibu swali.
Sasa bank
sikia. Umesikia Swahili? Vile imechonga. Sasa mbona umeenda rambo bro?
Bank iko na washroom.
Washroom ya staff. Mimi nasema any other business on earth. Even logical business nikiingia choo ya customer. Mbona bank inaida choo?
Because you see now, actually, we don't even expect you to stay there long.
Come on, bro.
And that's why we have, you see, we are all stable enough as as a bank, let's say, for example, let me not say we, but the banks themselves, they're also stable enough to allow that one man that is suppressed.
But it's so embarrassing. Bro, it's so embarrassing. Bro, kubeni chemka. Sasa unaanza kutafuta ati kifungo ya choo. You know, those things socially, they are awkward. I've never understood it. Sasa nimekaa nawe na bado waka hujanisaidia. Hiyo ni reason nzuri kaka zina macho. Honest book.
So you do think that maybe they're supposed to consider putting some moisture, bro? For customers.
Bro, I'm giving you my money to keep. Woke up, do biz 9. Sure. See lunch. Sure. Am I doing the big?
Say, I never even thought.
Bro, hiyo kitu utarudi kwa mtoto. And first I walked into a bank the first time up to today. This shit taking the key sense. I want someone to explain to me what banks are in macho. Number 2 question. Vile umesema history ya receivership. Like when there was the housing crisis in 2007, hiyo time stato yenye they were giving out some prime mortgages. Alafu kulikuwa na doya bailouts, but about 90% of that money for bailouts went to institutions, not to people. Why is it so important? Why are the banks more important than the people? As far as on that big level, yene mwananchi haizi elewa. Zise kama mimi sielewi, nisaidieni kuelewa. Na usiongea la bank jargons.
I think
ongea lugha tutaelewa.
I think the best way to stimulate the
That's to streamline.
just stimulate them, like to stimulate it.
When the banks stay alive, the economy is stimulated.
It's easily stimulated because now you are taking this resource. If I took, let's say, for example, if I give you 500, this 500 we were looking for the model. If I give you 500,
I'll say thank you. You want to give me?
Never know.
Let's do. I'm a little bit.
So if such a thing, that desire happen, I'm not guaranteed that I want to be the same.
Yes.
But why am I doing this thing? It's because they were doing that build-up because there was a researcher. There was a researcher in Simple Farm says that people is that or might not be
It was not a recession, bro. No, it was
the economic recession.
07. The subprime mortgage crisis was banks giving out money to people who could not afford to pay it back. Sindio?
I'm saying that cheap loans, the economy itself, was on that recession, and that's the reason why people go to a point where they are unable. Let me just explain recession. Yeah, this what type of recession?
An economic recession.
Yes, is that you guys get to a point whereby if you are psychologically, yes, on the very, very utmost basic. Nimekula shit tagovichi. Nimebishi, so zengine kesho. Hata watu wiko na chuo, not to be a very person. Tubora tumekula tukasurvive. Wewe sasa. So mtu mwenye tumekula tukasurvive leo atamwambia atanipa mu. Bracket. So now it is actually trying to salvage you're trying to salvage this economy from that form of recession.
From this basic smearing, kwa hivyo economy is zero.
Tell me there is no liquidity. Yes, there's no disposable income.
Your pesa inaenda wapi?
Yeah, what has happened is that either through bad policies, it has led to either investors pulling out or calling in with the money. So money is not saturated. Yes, sir. So if at all you were to come and salvage the situation, it means that you'll want to put money in the hands of people. And what is the best way of putting this money in the hands of people in a way that you as a government are able to get it back as a guarantee? You put it in the hands of institution. You go to Ford, you bail it, you
bail out institutions,
or bail out
because they stay alive eventually.
If the banks have been paid, nobody have the value. They look for the end. They don't produce it. But if they don't have the money, that's then find questions like, unazile maswali za polisi uliipa. Nyanya yako anaitwa nani? That becomes some part of the collateral for them to borrow the money. Yeah, because they are looking for any reason, like what the banks are doing today. The governments are out there hands with cookie. Well, now the government, the banks are doing is they not so much. I'm going to go back, not so much in a high. Then they put in.
Yes.
So pela pale go angalia CRB, pero angalia vitu gani, yes, and yet they cannot see your statements, what on your potential.
They see I can't pay, but there's a safer bet.
Yeah, as in
An institution.
if at all the government push off, no, they don't have anybody else to lend, and they have this money, and this money, the number is a liability from the whatever is discussed. It means that they want this money out of them as soon as it's possible. It's practical.
Yes.
So they must get DNA. So the moment they get DNA and feel, DNA amekama hapa, tukiangalia statement iko sawa, lakini kuna issues here. This lady or this gentleman will have to talk to the immediate boss, will talk to the other immediate boss, and have this conversation. That what do you think? Can we just calculate our risk and give our bet to this guy? They give an exceptional approval for this thing to just go with that CRB.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, we can see this potential. And if they don't give you, you will go to Bank X.
Yes.
Bank X wanakungoja hivi. Because with the government also still in their hands and all that. Wanakupatia. This is actually what used to happen. That these banks, sometimes in the past, kadi, ATM. Wajua sisi tumelizwa Kayumba tole. Kuna jamaa alipata ATM kadi yake alikuwa to celebrate ni aje. Hizo siku. ATM card.
Yeah.
Hebu kali ATM. Sasa hii ATM card bude ukiwa na ATM card yako hiyo
si
ndio nini? Ndio umekuja na ndio file. Toka ndio kitu hapo. Una get So hivi wale kama karibisi kitu hata chini. As in watu kaza kufungua accounts na 50 bob. Accounts ya kitambo ilikuwa kama una 5k hivi.
Utoshi.
No, wewe utoshi mdogo. Una guess? Yeah, and actually those are some of those policies during the Kibaki regime. You can remember when that regime came in, wakaanza kutoa some of those policies that those are the rest types.
Yeah, so you brought them points.
I just say in terms of media. You know, media ilikuwa kama ukimba Banjuka itabidi ende KBC. Wale kama kafungua hiyo platform kwa 90. So unapata
so Kibaki regime ilikuwa na deregulation.
Yes.
Ama ilikuwa na more favorable policies.
Yeah, while the policies that expands the economy. The policies were intentionally intended to expand the economy.
Now they were also in 10 years they had banks trying to reach this, to get as many people to be in the bank.
No, not only the banks. It was actually the policies were intended to expand the economy. So the banks themselves expanded in their field, the media expanded in their fields, manufacturing expanded in their fields. You know that? Because the example I can give you this. If I've expanded immediately, we're talking about regulation. It's not only the ABC now. Kuna Inoro, kuna Amogi. Ona kama unachapa historia yako na kijaka hapa hivi. Nyanya huyu msee huko hivi Nyalugunga anasikia hiyo story. Alena na bai. Wilson. Sales yangu inaongezeka.
You're not on effect.
Sell your people.
Yes.
Yeah. So ina sales zangu zikiongezeka. Mimi mwenye nilikuwa nauza brook na inabidi nitafute ng'ombe nini ngapi sasa? Plans ngapi? Kwa sababu they outreach about gig.
Your growth.
Yeah, so it is the policies that actually develop and expand the economy. Yes, as opposed to some of the policies that we are seeing are deliberately intended to
contract the economy.
Contract it.
Who's a beneficiary of a contracted economy?
The colonial regime.
The boss of the boss of the boss.
My view, I think that.
Okay, and in your view then, sir, because this one.
And that actually will speak to the globalist finance.
Sasa unaweza bende zile views za kunyonga views, but tuendelee. Zinaona je kama nikiendelea tuendelee. Sasa jibu wako nitauliza swali. And this is a genuine question. Is lending gender biased in Kenya? And the reason I ask this question is because I feel like ladies have much easier access to bank money than men in Kenya. And maybe this is my just me kuona vitu aziko, but is it true or not?
Okay, I think
and these are not gender wars. This is not men versus women.
Yes. My observation.
Yes.
And I know many people might disagree. with this view.
So report ni yako na
Yes.
kwenda huko.
Yeah, maybe people might disagree with this, but women